we do believe, we are under the impression that someone is going to be extended this offseason because it's just that perfect time frame for Omar Khan to sign people to extensions. That way they're not free agents in the impending year. You know, he's done that in years past. After the 2022 draft class and Kevin Colbert resigned and then Omar Khan became GM, he wasted no time to re-sign Deontay Johnson, who's now gone, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Chris Boswell. Those were three impending.
Can't forget about Alex Highsmith last offseason.
Yeah, but those were guys that are going to be impending free agents after that season. And he extended those guys before preseason even started.
Yeah.
Before training camp even started. So who is next in line this upcoming offseason? Now, if you were to ask me this question a month ago, the first name that would have come to mind was, James Daniels. James Daniels. Well, according to a recent report from Steelers Now, that might not happen. He was asked by a Steelers Now reporter that has he had any discussions of extension? Has the Steelers and him have any discussions of an extension? And James Daniels said no. They told me nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why. I think that'd be a big concern. I think that'd be a big mistake if the Steelers don't bring back James Daniels. He's arguably our best offensive lineman. He's been under the system for 2 years now. He's still only 26 years old. Like, why would they not keep him around?
Yeah, with so much playing and starting experience. Like, he's still so young, but he's so good. He is our best lineman.
Why would he not be extended by the Steelers? Now, the only reason I could think of that is one of two reasons. One, they don't want to pay him the cap market. They don't want to pay him market value. And we all know the guard market has exploded thanks to the Panthers alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's exploded, but you got to pay good players market value. It's just business. It's just the way the NFL is ran nowadays. You pay good players the market value. As messed up as it is, as crazy as it is, it's what you got to do. You pay good players the market value. James Daniels has shown he is worth that. Either they don't want to extend him because of that, or because they view a Mason McCormick, who they drafted in the 4th round, as his replacement. And Omar Khan did allude to that after he drafted him. He said, we drafted Mason McCormick because there's a possibility James Daniels and Nate Herbig, who are both in contract years, cannot be extended. So we wanted an insurance policy, a backup plan in that regard.
Yeah.
Now, after the draft, you and I were confident that James Daniels is going to be extended before preseason. And Mason McCormick could very well be a future starter at left guard, replacing Seumalo.
Yeah, because if you remember, McCormick was a full-time left guard at South Dakota State.
For 3 years. A 3-year starter.
At left guard. Now, when rookie minicamp first started, they ended up putting McCormick over at right guard. They test him out over there, and I believe they're still doing it around OTAs.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to keep his versatility going, and McCormick has no problem with it because very similar to what Fatanu said about the Washington coaching staff, he didn't play right tackle in college, but they were very good at cross-fitting, cross-practicing these positions in case of anything were to happen. Although they never played the position in an actual game, they never played a legit snap at those positions, they have that cross-training at that position. So for Fatanu, he never played right tackle, but he has the flexibility because of the experience in practice.
Yeah.
McCormick never played right guard, but has the experience because of what the Steelers are doing and what he learned in college.
Yeah.
Right? So they could move there. They're comfortable there because they've it's not a foreign language to them. It's not like, hey, this is your first time playing this position. Learn it.
Yeah.
They have some minor experience, but it's experience. But we would just feel better with them putting him in his natural position at left guard and replacing Seumalo, because Seumalo, who's 31, has 2 years left on his contract, but he could also be a cap casualty after next season.
Yeah, if they needed to be. That way, McCormick's there at left guard, and then we're looking potentially next season, we're looking at Broderick Jones left tackle, Mason McCormick left guard, we're looking at Zach Frazier center, we're looking at James Daniels potentially getting a long-term extension at right guard, and then you got Troy Furtanu over at right tackle. That is a young stud offensive line for years to come.
You have an incredibly young offensive line for a minimum of at least 3-4 years, if it all pans out. That's how we viewed it after the draft, but according to this report from Steelers Now, according to James Daniels and what he told them, he said nothing's going to happen. He said, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Why would the Steelers not extend James Daniels?
When I first heard about this, I was pushed back. I'm like, really? I'm like, this is kind of crazy because the Steelers, when it comes to trade talks about a wide receiver, it doesn't appear that they have any problem paying a wide receiver big money. That doesn't seem to be the problem. The problem is how much trade capital they have to give up for said wide receiver. If they want to pay a wide receiver this much big money, why wouldn't they do it for
an offensive lineman where they couldn't find a gem there for years now? When they can draft a wide receiver and develop the next great guy?
Like it's nothing. Like
they're not even trying.
Yeah, they don't have to try with the Steelers.
Well, they've tried for how many years to get a guy like James Daniels on the roster, on their line? I wouldn't let him walk. I'd hope that there would be some discussion at some point, but according to Daniels and what he told Steelers now, it's just not going to happen. It boggles my mind. Like, why would they do that? Why would they not try to extend Daniels?
Maybe they're just not, I don't know. Maybe they're just not doing it at the moment, although I don't know why you would wait till later. I'd be doing it ASAP. I'd be making sure, hey, we got to get this guy locked down. We brought him in here 2 years ago. The guy's been a stud over our right guard. He's been a hell of a standout player for us. We got to keep him. He's still young. He's got plenty of experience. We got to keep him with this team.
Yes.
I would not wait to talk extension with James Daniels. I'd be doing it ASAP.
Right.
I'd be doing it ASAP. Maybe they do down the line. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Because me and Dan feel here that James Daniels is worth a long-term extension.
Yes. Especially since, I look at Highsmith last year. There were talks of him and the Steelers having negotiation talks about a new contract. I think it was before or right after the draft. Like, there were talks in May that they were getting an extension going. Now, we're in the first week of June, and there's no discussion, no reports of James Daniels getting an extension. So that doesn't make me feel confident that Daniels is going to be extended. Unless they want to wait out until next season, until next offseason. But if that's the case, some team is going to pay him more than you will.
Yeah, I mean, you're risking your most stud offensive lineman walking in free agency because there will be a team out there that will pay him.
Right.
That will snag him.
But in the Steelers thinking, they have what they think and what they hope is their replacement. McCormick.
Sure.
And if they do, then McCormick's your replacement. That's a solid replacement if he lives up to the pedigree that the Steelers graded him at, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Sayamalu is in his last year in 2025 if they retain him at left guard. He'll be 32 at the time. Then you got to find a new left guard. It just doesn't sound feasible. It doesn't sound the most.
Or do they extend Sayamalu,
success.
but how much are they going to extend Sayamalu? How much would they be willing to extend Sayamalu?
I don't know. Not his age. Not his age.
I mean, quite honestly. And listen, I like Sayamalu. I appreciate everything that Sayamalu has done since he's joined the team.
Oh, yeah, he's been a good signing. He's been a very good signing.
But me and Dan here, we're just trying to look out for the future of the offensive line.
Chris Landstorm with 20 and a half. Chris Landstorm of the Falcons. Robert Hunt with 20 flat.
Bro, that's doable.
Is James Daniels going to really commend 20? Maybe. But if that's the case, I mean, you have the least paid offense in the entire league. What is paying a guard $20 million a year going to do?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay a quarterback big money, most money in the league for a long time.
No.
Fucking do it. You got George Pickens coming up. Fucking do it. You might trade for a receiver. I'd still fucking do it.
What about Najee and Warren?
Pay him. Pay him both.
You want to talk about freaking players that have carried this offense for years? You want to talk about people that have showcased how important they are to this football team, to the offense? Can't look any more better than Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren together.
I mean,
as proven talent, as capable, reliable, dependable talent.
Since we're on the topic of guys next in line for an extension,
it's those two.
I mean, let's look at the list here. We already discussed Cam Hayward. We discussed James Daniels. Dante Jackson, they're going to see what he can do. They're not going to extend him. Justin Fields, maybe, because they don't have a quarterback under contract after 2024. I am of the belief Justin Fields will be extended at a cheap deal, and he'll be given an opportunity to start in 2025.
Yeah, very Jordan Love-esque.
Very much so. Or very much like when Mason got his first extension before the draft years ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
Very, very similar there. I think Fields could very well be next in line for an extension. I don't know if he's at the top of their priority, but I could see him being extended before the season starts, just to make sure they have a guy at the quarterback room in 2025. Nate Herbig, I think they're going to see what he can do. I don't think they're going to view him as a priority there, at least not now. Landon Roberts, I could see getting extended. They're going to want bodies in the linebacker room. We don't know where Cole Holcomb sits at in his recovery. Mm-hmm. We know they got Queen, they got Peyton Wilson, who are two incredible additions. But I could definitely see them wanting to extend Roberts as that run defending, that pass rush linebacker, that sub-package linebacker.
That leader in the front seven.
KZ, I think they're going to wait and see what he does. I mean, he's 32 coming in this year. It just doesn't sound as feasible, so they're going to let his contract pay out. Pat Freiermuth. If they didn't give Najee the fifth-year option, and they declined that, and they have no vision of extending him, why would they extend Muth?
Yeah.
I'm putting Najee first. I'm putting Warren right before Muth as well. I just think Omar Khan's going to get someone extended. He's going to extend somebody because he does it every offseason. Or at least he has done it every offseason thus far. He's done it right before preseason has started. Every offseason he's been GM thus far.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, Deontay, Boswell, Minka, and, of course, Highsmith last year. Mm-hmm. Hell, it's not just Omar Khan thing. The Steelers have been doing it for years now. They did that with Watt when they extended him. They did that with Hayward's last big contract. You know? Like, they are paying these guys right before preseason really hits. So who's next in line for the Steelers this year? It could be nobody. But from their recent trend since, I don't know, like 2019, 2020, something like that.
Yeah.
They've extended somebody right around that time frame. We hope James Daniels, but it doesn't sound like it. So, yeah, Najee and Warren should be first and foremost.
Yeah, they should be up there.
Warren is technically not under contract, but is technically going to be tendered. Because why wouldn't they? So he'll be under contract next year after 2024. Najee won't, but I wouldn't let Najee walk. I wouldn't overpay him, but I'd give him a second contract, and that's it. I'd give him like a 2-3 year contract at his age.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll play out the entire contract. Depends on performance and how his body pays up at that position. But I'd give Najee 2 contracts minimum. I think he's deserving. I think he's earned it. I think he's done well enough with the circumstances he has had to endure, unfortunately.
Oh, he's proven it time and time again.
And Warren, same thing there. A little more explosive as a running back. A little more dependable, in my opinion.
With the worst offensive line play, probably in Steelers history, with the worst offensive coordinator that we've ever seen.
And the worst quarterback. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Spinnett.
Maybe it's just nobody. And the reason for that is because maybe they do have aspirations to trade for a big receiver and pay them big cash. And they know they can't do that if they extend certain individuals.
They could.
Now, again, most of that cap space won't really go into effect until 2025.
Yeah, to which I should point this out. The anticipated cap space that the Steelers are supposed to have for next year is over $90 million. It's a good bet.
Woo!
That's money the Steelers never see.
When was the last time we had
That's money
that?
the Steelers never see. Now, that's the anticipated cap space Steelers are supposed to have. They can be able to pay the guys that they may be looking to re-sign if need be.
Shit.
As well as trading for a big-name wide receiver if they still want to.
You got no excuse to not extend Daniels or Najee or Warren or a receiver if you trade for one. Even Hayward, if he lives up to... Not lives up. If he proves himself this year.
Yeah.
And when I mean prove himself, I mean like at his age.
Availability.
Right. So like you got no $90 million. Holy shit.
So the Steelers.
I remember when we were starting to get 5.
Yeah, we were just fucking scrapping.
The Kevin Colbert days, man. Oh my god.
Just scrapping.
Oh my god. Digital dust. We all trust Con, man.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on before the regular season hits, but probably even before the preseason hits.
Yeah.
Something to keep a real close eye on.
Right.
For sure.